there are not that many pretty houses.
Yeah.
You know,
Such a good point.
Yeah.
You're like, it's fun when you see one.
it's
Like
mostly
1 in
like-
10 are really pretty.
Yeah.
It's
As
a
long as you do it.
career.
Yeah.
It is a full-time job career
Right.
where you report to a boss and you are held accountable
Yes.
to the team standard. And if you don't want to do that, you may go to another team somewhere else.
But none of them are run like this.
We're very open house heavy. We do normally like 30% of our closings really come from open houses.
Hi y'all, welcome to Hustle Humbly. It's Alyssa and Katie, and we are two top producing realtors in the Baton Rouge market.
We work for two different companies where we should be competitors, but we have chosen community over competition.
The goal of our podcast is to encourage you to find your own way in business.
So stop comparing yourself and start embracing your strengths.
Hi, Alyssa.
Hey Katie.
Hi, Laura.
Hi.
This is episode number 300.
I'm very excited.
Alyssa has been counting down.
I have been. I
And-
love a round number.
To be fair, it took us about 300 episodes to get you here.
Amazing.
Yes.
So I'm going to let Alyssa introduce who you are.
Okay.
But we're really excited.
So as you know, Katie and I are both solo agents,
Yes.
have always been solo agents. And the only questions that we get from our listeners that we cannot answer
And we feel very uncomfortable answering.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
is team questions.
Team.
Mhm.
But then we were very, very picky about who we would ask these questions. And I thought Laura Bucksmith is the only person. So I think we reached out like a year ago, maybe longer, but I was like,
Longer.
I'm holding out until she says yes,
And you're here.
because nobody else is coming on
Maybe
to talk
she
about
was waiting
teams.
to see if we were legit.
Yeah.
That is such a compliment, though. I hope I don't,
I'm so
hope I don't disappoint
excited.
you today.
You will not disappoint us.
Okay.
Well, and I'm excited to learn. So Laura and I have worked together on like Christmas gifts.
Yes.
She does the big Christmas give every year where
Yes.
I go to the Gardier school and do the Chick-fil-A, and she does the shoes, and she does so much more with that. And then of course we've done real estate together and served on leadership things together. But I'm even excited today because as I was going through questions, I realized there's so much I don't know about your beginnings and how you
okay.
started. So, you know, I don't even know if you were ever a solo agent. We want
No.
you to start off by telling us how you started. How did you even get into real estate?
I'm still not a solo agent. Think about
Ever.
it. Yeah,
Never, ever.
No.
And we have never, ever been a team.
This is perfect.
This is perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So let's see. I think this is my 20th year or 21st year. And I got into real estate. I always knew that I wanted to do it. And then, do you remember Sandy Ogburn? Did y'all know
Yes.
Sandy Ogburn?
Uh-huh.
So she hired me as a buyer's agent. Steven got in the business 3 months later.
Sandy had the van.
Yes.
Where when you moved, you got to use her moving van with like her picture on it, right?
Yes.
and
Okay.
Laura did that, or did that
We
at
have
one point.
we have a moving trailer now,
Oh, I
a
love
cargo
it.
moving trailer, and do y'all have anything like that? That would be
Mm-mm.
something
No.
to invest in for
Mm-mm.
your clients.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
you love
nice.
it. So you were fresh out of school and always knew you wanted to be in real estate?
I knew in college, I really didn't even want to go to college. I told my mom, I said, I really don't even want to go to college. I just want to go to real estate school. And she was like, no, you have to get your degree. So I went in for business and marketing, got into real estate. I mean, and I kind of clicked with it. I did a lot of open houses.
Okay.
I picked up clients that way, and I was able to sell houses.
So what made you not start solo? Like, how did you come to find Sandy and join a team right off the bat?
Bob Brooks.
So Bob Brooks is one of our local real estate teachers, educators that you go to for your
He's the school.
License- he's the real
passed
estate
away
school.
now, but he's the school.
Did you go to Bob Brooks?
I sure did.
Okay.
In 2005.
Okay. Well, there you go. So he actually pulled me out of class. And he said, well, what are you trying to do? I said, really, I'm here because I want to be a commercial realtor. And he said, you don't know anything about real estate, much less commercial real estate. And he said, no. He said, you're not going to do that. He said, I think you're a star.
Aw.
Yeah. And he said, I think you should work with Sandy Ogburn.
Okay.
Oh.
And that was at Remax. I ended up staying at Remax for 13 years.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we're very similar in that. So
Yeah.
I started at a small office, like independent, for
Mhm.
only about 6 months, and they merged into Remax Real Estate Group. So then I was at a Remax for 14 years.
Where are you now?
Well, now I'm at Southerly, which is back independent. So there
Very
were only
good.
like 3 or 4 agents in my office.
Mhm.
So I did RE/MAX for the brunt of my career.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
I loved Remax.
I did too.
So, as a new agent for 13 years, you worked with Sandy as a buyer's agent only, or did you transition?
I worked there for 7 years. Started off as a buyer's agent, then I started getting listings, and basically we would co-list.
Okay.
So I would co-list things with Sandy. Then I ended up staying with Remax, but just starting our own team at Remax is what we
Okay.
did. Probably, 7 years later. And I work with my husband, and we've been married 25 years and still get along. And so after 13 years at Remax, then we went to EXP for 5 years. And then we've opened up our own company.
Fascinating. So, did you knew Steven, your husband,
Yes.
before you got into real estate?
Yes, we were married.
Did y'all start together?
No, he started 3 months after me.
Oh.
Why 3 months after?
So because he was going into restaurant management is kind of what he was going to do. Well, I sold a couple of houses and I came home with my commission check. And he was like, that's more than what I've made in a month.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So he got his real estate license. Sandy ended up hiring him as well. And then kind of the rest is history.
So, how big was the team with Sandy?
We had, I want to say, maybe 10 people.
Okay.
Something like that.
So, a decent sized team.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And you stayed with Sandy for 7 years.
7 years.
And then you and Steven stayed at Remax and started your own team.
Our own team, yes.
What led you to that decision?
So we built up a big business. And so we both hard workers, both kind, honest people. We built up a business and we just didn't need that environment anymore, I guess, if what you want to say. So we started our own. We loved Remax. We stayed there. Do you know Kim Swain? I don't know if you'll know her, but she's been with me for 16 years.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So I've never put in a listing in my life.
Oh, she always did that.
So she does everything.
Is she just she's an admin, not an agent?
Right. Well,
Okay.
she's an agent now as well.
Both,
So
okay.
she will sell a little bit here and there.
Oh.
So she's been with us for 16 years and she's been amazing to us.
So when you started your team, it's you and Steven equal partner. And then what did the structure look like under that? Did you
Like
have
at
one buyer's
first?
agent at the very beginning?
Okay. So at the beginning, when it was Stephen, myself, and Kim. So we started growing a little bit. Kim did all the back shop work. Stephen does a lot of new construction. We had a lot of subdivisions listed at that time. So what we did is my cousin Christopher Horner,
Yes.
who everybody knows and
Yes.
loves, we talked with him about being our first buyer's agent.
Okay.
So then he came on our team. And then after that, a few people started coming on. I think we grew to maybe 5 to 7 buyer's agents that were also bringing in listings and things like this. And it just kind of started spiraling after that. Then the team started recruiting other people.
Like, hey, come join our team.
Right.
Were you okay with that?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I mean, the thing is, we had these subdivisions that
Oh.
were bringing in so many leads.
Yes, yes.
So what happened is once the subdivisions started selling out, though, we had built this big team.
Yeah, and you got...
But your subdivisions are done.
Right.
So how did you get leads then?
So that's when we started figuring out how to create more leads. We're very open house heavy. We do normally like 30% of our closings really come from open houses,
Yeah.
except last year. But anyway,
Y'all do a great job with your open houses.
We do.
With the marketing of them, the promoting of them, the availability of them. I mean, y'all just do a really great job.
it's very consistent.
Yes.
It's very consistent.
30% of your closing.
Except for last year. Last year was terrible.
Okay, 2024 doesn't count.
Okay, 2024 doesn't count. But
Yeah.
yes, normally 25 to 30%.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And any of your buyer's agents might be in any one of, like, for how many open houses are happening that your team is doing on a given weekend, maybe?
So to be on our team now we've grown our team to 25 people, and then we own the brokerage as well. And we have 8 individual agents that are with us, but not on our team.
Okay.
Okay. And then we've grown to Alabama, and then we have 2 agents there that are
Okay.
on our team.
Right.
Do you want to tell us, because I'm fascinated by the structure,
Okay.
what designates a person on your team versus at your brokerage not on your team?
They get to choose. So my husband with the emergenetics
Yes.
testing
Yes.
is high, conceptual, the yellow, big
Mhm.
picture.
Mhm.
So Okay, so let me back up. After we left Remax, we went to EXP. We really outgrew EXP because our team was so big. We were almost like a little brokerage at EXP. So my husband said, it's time. We need to start our own brokerage. And that way, when anybody in our team doesn't want to be on our team anymore, where they've grown their business so big, they can move over to being individual.
Were you resistant to that at all? Like becoming your own brokerage?
No, Steven is so smart.
Yeah.
He's so clever.
Yeah.
So
I honestly thought when y'all left Remax that you would just become your own brokerage.
everybody, and we were going to. We were actually going to. And then I went to Louisiana Realtors in that group.
Yes.
Okay. And somebody told me about EXP, and I was like, I went home to Steven and I'm like, hey, before we totally do this, let's look at EXP. And EXP was great. I mean, we learned a lot. We learned what we wanted to do, what we didn't want to do. And then now we've opened up the market.
Yeah.
I like that name.
Me too.
How did you name the company, The Market?
So it's the Market Real Estate Company.
Okay.
Steven and I were going for a walk because we were going to name it Team Smith.
Yeah. That's what I would have thought.
Yes.
But
yes.
I guess that makes sense if you want to have some individuals.
Right. But Steven's more big picture thinking. And he said, you know what? We need to just name it something very just simple, because our goal is that we add other agents where they're individual, or when our team has been with us for so long and they say, I don't want to be on the team anymore. I want a higher split. I'm bringing in all my own business. Well, they can move over here and make 100% of their commission. So it's really a good situation where everybody can just choose where they want to be. We really have 3 different platforms.
So in the beginning, when you and Steven first started your own team back at Remax and started hiring like your first buyer's agents, did you just recruit Chris from wherever he was working at that time? You said, please stop working in corporate America.
I said, help.
Yes.
Help. We have so many leads. We are exhausted. We can't handle all of this.
And what year was that, you think? Like, that was, I mean, it was before online leads and things like that were super popular.
I mean, I'm going to guess 13 years ago, 15 years ago, something like that.
And it was just your subdivision, new construction leads. So Chris
open houses. All these people are coming in our open houses. Can you list my house? Can you, help me buy a house?
How many builders were you working with? Because I feel like I can hear this question coming already. Well, how did they get the new construction?
Well, okay. So probably 50% of our business was existing.
Resales.
Past clients and all that. And then probably half was the new construction. I want to say we normally would have maybe 2 or 3 subdivisions at a time.
All the same builder or different builders?
Different builders.
Different builders.
Yes.
You would just form relationships with those builders, or were they people you knew in your sphere?
Well, I mean, if I could recommend for anybody that's doing anything is to do open houses, because builders come into your open houses to see what their competition is, to learn the market, so I'm a huge advocate of open houses.
So some of your builders just met you in an open house.
Some of them did. Some of them were referred to us. Bob Brooks actually referred us one.
Well, Bob Brooks was like your biggest fan, huh?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yep.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Okay, so you're hiring buyer's agents for the first time. I always got a little fuzzy on, okay, we're hiring you as a buyer's agent, but then you mentioned, well, then they start getting their own listings.
And then we just co-list it.
Okay.
We just co-list it. So everybody on our team now, they co-list things. They work with buyers. They work with sellers. They do commercial sales. They do land sales, anything that they want to do. Yes.
And I think that makes sense, because to me, when teams were so adamant about the label of only buyers, it never made sense to me as a solo agent, because I know how it works. Like you have a buyer and then you get a seller and then you get a buyer.
Right.
So
like right now, I mean, I don't even know how many listings we have, and we just co-list. Right. Steven and I bear all the expense of the listings, and like anybody on our team, everything's paid for.
Okay.
Their lead, we have a big Zillow account, we have a big Boomtown account, we have all this kind of stuff, and we don't compete with anybody on our team.
Sure.
So we're not on the lead generating systems. Steven and I are not.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you or Steven sell at this point?
Yes.
Okay. Listings and buyers?
Absolutely.
Both.
I'm laughing because I have a 5:00 appointment with a buyer.
You're like, I gotta go right now. I gotta go show a house right now.
For a $100,000 sale. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Okay.
LSU, yeah. But
Mhm.
so I have all my past clients that I work
Mhm.
with, all my referrals and stuff like that. And then Steven too.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then how do you disperse an online lead that the team that you're paying for?
So what we do within our team, we are good about promoting within. So we have a few people on the team, like, I don't know if you know Mary Beth Crane.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I was saying. I said, I don't know if I've closed with Laura before, but I've closed with Mary Beth Crane a bunch.
So she's now our DAD, Director of Agent Development.
Oh, okay.
So she's been with us probably 10, 11 years.
A long time.
Yes. And everybody that's been with us has been with us a long time.
Okay.
Which
that's a good
says a
sign.
lot.
Yeah.
And even the cute thing too, I'm just proud of this, I guess, but even with the team, we keep saying, if anybody wants to move over and be an individual agent, you know how many people have done that?
They don't want to.
Once they're on the team, they want to stay.
Yeah.
Okay, but what does she do as the dad?
So she trains everybody. She works on schedules. If you're on the team side, you've got to do one open house a month at least.
Okay.
And then you can volunteer, so we recommend everybody do at least 2. If I were a
Okay.
brand new agent, I would be doing one every Sunday for a year.
Sure,
Mhm.
sure.
But anyway, if you're an individual agent, there's no requirements.
Okay.
Fascinating. And sometimes I think with the leads, whenever I meet with agents who are maybe on a team and are struggling,
Yeah.
and they're like, well, my team lead gives us online leads, but I'm having trouble converting them. And then my numbers aren't that great. And then my team lead kind of says like, well, I gave you the leads and it's up to you if you're going to work them or not. And if you're going to do what you're supposed to do. And it's like so stressful.
No.
So how do you?
I feel extremely responsible for everybody on our team.
Mhm.
So, I mean, that's a conversation I would not be having. If someone on our team is struggling, we have boot camps, we have training every Tuesday, we review things, we have call nights, we have, invite all your sphere to the movies. We paid for all of our clients to go to the movies and bring their family. I mean, we're just constantly
Fun.
pouring into the team.
Yeah.
You're providing those services to the team that's why they're not leaving the team.
Yeah. There's so much training
You're giving
and
them value.
I hope so. That's
Well,
our
sounds
goal.
like it.
Yeah.
If you weren't, they would leave.
Right. And everybody's been with us years and years. And then, like I said, our goal is that we pay for everything. So we on the team side, we pay for thousands of dollars every month. Our Zillow account. I won't even say the number because it's embarrassing. But we have a huge Zillow account. We have a huge Boomtown. Has been great, where you can post your listings, post the link to the listing and boost it. So all their boosting's paid for. Everything's paid for on the team.
Yeah.
And then, basically it's like a 50-50 split.
Okay.
Yeah. Does it elevate? Does it stay?
It can elevate. So we have 3 choices now. They can do 50-50 and stay on the team.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Our new one is you can do 70-30 and stay on the team. This one, your expenses are paid for you, but you've got to bring in your own leads.
Okay. So if
You
they're
don't
like,
get any of the Zillow.
if they're like, I don't need any internet leads.
Right. If they're like, if they came to Stephen and I and they said, look, I do not want to leave the team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I want this team environment. But please don't give me more leads. I'm
Yeah.
exhausted,
Yes.
so they can move to the 70-30.
I feel like that might happen more and more as your people become more credible, and
Right.
do they each have their own database and they're building their own databases?
Yes, and they all have their own Boomtown too.
Yeah.
So they've got their website and everything.
So when you give them, because you hear this a lot, when you give them a lead from Zillow or Boomtown or whatever, and they close it, and then later on they go to a whole nother brokerage. Do you keep their,
I
Keep
wouldn't know
the
because
lead.
almost nobody
then
leaves.
nobody leaves?
So you're like, I don't know how that would work.
But that's how other
Yeah.
teams do it.
I mean, we've had a couple amazing people that have left. I'm not going to say.
But you didn't say, give me all your.
No, I know.
You're just
Nobody
like,
has time
take
for that.
them.
I'm proud. There's a couple people that have gone on and been really successful.
Yeah, okay.
I'm proud for them. And no, I mean, I'm not like that. I have a very giving
And you still
heart.
have more coming in.
Yeah, and there's enough business for everybody, and
Okay, what's the third tier then? Off the team,
Right. Okay. So, all right.
50-50.
So you have to think the Team Smith side has got two choices. So 50-50 or 70-30.
Okay.
And then the third choice would be the individual where they pay in $13,000 to the company and then they go 100%.
Okay.
Beautiful.
And everybody can choose.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So back in the very beginning,
Yes.
when you're trying to structure this yourself, did you use the structure you had learned from Sandy? Did you feel like that was working? Like when you started establishing your own team, did it take a lot of trial and error and revisions, or do you feel like it was pretty consistent?
I would say that every place that we've been or everything that we've learned, we take it and we say we did not like this, or we wish we were treated like this.
Mm-hmm.
We would like to change and be treated like this. And so we kind of took what we liked and what we didn't like and came up with our own way.
Okay. So we get a lot of messages from agents who are feeling like they want to start a team or should start a team. Do you think you should be on a team before you start a team? Like, how do you think?
I think that, people call me all the time about starting a team, and
I
I'm
bet.
telling them, y'all need to have a huge business before you do that. You're taking on somebody, you are responsible for them. To me, unless you have a gazillion listings
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and a gazillion leads coming in, it would be really tough to start a team.
So
Because
if
people are gonna leave.
they don't, like if they say, oh, well, I don't have that, what do you tell them next? Like they call and they're like, Laura, what should we do? We want to start a team. And you're like, well, do you have a gazillion
Well, I'm going to ask
leads?
them why. Why do they want to start a team?
What answers do you get?
Yeah.
Let me say, for Stephen and I, it was time. That's what we wanted. We wanted time back because we were working so much and we had so much coming in. We needed to be able to delegate. And it was like, hey, we have too much business. You don't have enough business. You take it. Let's split it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were able to grow. And then the next person that would come in, they would start bringing in more leads too, so it's just it snowballed like that. So I think that when people want to start a team, I would just wonder why.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Do you wonder why?
Well, what's funny is we just did an episode on understanding why. Why do you want to be bigger? Why do you
Right.
need it? Do
Right.
you because we had some people that want to spend a lot of money to hire, but then you're back where you started if you do it that way and don't think it through and don't have enough business.
Right.
And I think even for me, because people ask, why didn't you ever start a team? Why aren't you your own broker? And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, to me, being my own broker and being a solo agent is two totally different career paths.
Right.
So I would have to deal with other agents where right now my clients keep me busy enough that I would feel more stressed feeling like I needed to provide for the agents' families. And I'm sure you have felt that pressure.
Yes.
You just mentioned 2024 was a down year for
Right.
everybody.
Right.
Like, what did that look like for you?
Yeah. So we normally, our goal for our team is to close 400 houses a year, properties a year. And then last year, and we've never hit 400 as a team. We'll hit 389.
So
or
close.
Yeah,
so close.
382 or whatever, just as the team.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And then, but we're always trying to hit 400. We're on pace to do it this year. I think we'll actually hit 440. I'm going to say that now.
Oh, I love
Okay.
I'm
it.
going to throw that out there.
Okay, we're going to check back in.
Check
Yeah.
back in. Yes. But so I think we'll close 440 closings this year. And I don't know what I was saying.
But when it slows down,
Oh, we did. So last year we only did 290 or
Okay.
something like that. So we were down like 100 and something units.
How did your team do?
like how do you support them in that?
It was rough.
Emotionally, financially?
Right.
It
How
was
do you
just
support
rough,
them?
It's like, I got in the business, I think 2000, what was it? Maybe 2004. So I went through 2008 when it was so horrible.
Mhm.
So I was able to tell everybody, look, every year you're just not going to have these huge
Yeah,
numbers.
But it's really hard for the new agents that have never seen it.
right.
Mhm.
They don't understand what it's like to have all the listings sit for more than 30 days.
Angry sellers, crying sellers, the
So many
team,
tears.
we do a bonus, everything's on commission. So we've got the ladies on back shop now, we weren't able to go on our team trip.
Yeah.
So that was sad because Stephen and I pay for everybody to go on a trip or a cruise or whatever. And there was no trip or cruise.
But good for you for knowing that.
Yeah.
And not overextending yourself for the sake
Or, like,
of
just
appearances.
Go
We had to
into
cut
debt
way
to
back.
keep it going.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we had to cut back. So we're
Coming
Yeah, that's
back
hard.
around
we're coming
2025.
back around. We're so happy. But yeah. I mean, people that want to start a team, I would just make sure that you're responsible for the people that come on, because you need to be providing, not just here's a lead. Here's a lead. Here's how to work it. Follow back up with them. Is there anything? You've got to have a servant's heart to be a team leader.
Yeah.
It is not about you. It is about your team.
Right. Right.
Now, people on the brokerage side, like I said, I think we have almost 10 agents on that side. And that's our vision, is growing there.
Mm-hmm.
But with them, we're just offering training. We're offering free CE at the office and just support and everything. But the individual agents just are kind of rocking and rolling on themselves.
And they came from the team. None of them came from the team. They just opted to be solo when they came to the office.
Right.
How long has you had this office open?
I think it's been 4 years, 5 years.
Okay, that's a pretty long while.
Yeah.
You
It was
feel
almost
stable.
like
right
at the beginning of
Very
COVID.
stable. And then the way we grew to Alabama, y'all will love hearing this. One of our top agents, Mary Birch, I don't know if you know her, but I mean, she'd sell 40, 50, 60 houses a year on our team. And her husband got transferred to the Fairhope, Alabama area. And so she came to Stephen and I, and she said, would y'all consider, I don't want to work for anybody else. Would y'all consider opening there?
So did you have to get your brokerage license in Alabama?
Well, so I was like, let me think about how we can do that. And like, I process things and I think about it. And Stephen goes, Laura, I already got us an office in Alabama. We have a Zillow account, and I got my broker's license. He got everything done in a week.
Oh my god.
And we were up and running. Yes.
Wow.
Fast.
A physical office?
Yes. Do you know those two beautiful, tall buildings right before you're about to go through the tunnel?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we leased a space. It's $600 a month for an office in there on the 10th floor. We've had it 3 or 4 years. I've never even seen it.
Does she go?
No, but you have to have
You
an
have to
office.
Have a space.
And
You're
it's-
like, give me the cheapest space available.
So we've seen pictures. It's beautiful.
It's just a closet in the hall somewhere.
Pretty much. Stephen got his broker's license, set up a Zillow account, and got us an office that fast. And we had her set up. So now she has recruited, 2 or 3 people there. And so we plan on growing there as well.
That's awesome. How was it for her getting started in a brand new city?
So what I've learned about the Fairhope area, which is so beautiful.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are buying second homes.
Okay.
They pay cash, and their market is more expensive than here in Baton Rouge.
So she didn't have to do too much.
She went several months where, she's used to here just steadily having closings. And I think it just took a minute.
Yeah.
And we got her set up with that Zillow account, and she has rolled.
And then it's like once she has closings, now she has past clients that she can reach out to for repeat and referral.
Yes.
And that just becomes her sphere now.
So I think we're going to try to add 2 people there to the Fairhope area.
Do you add them because the leads are turning enough that you need?
Right.
You don't add more leads to get another agent.
So it's just right.
You're always doing the cart before the horse.
Yes.
Well, some people are putting the cart before the horse. You're always putting the horse first.
Right.
You're like, well, I got all these leads. Someone's got to work them.
And now the ones that are in Alabama are like, hey, Stephen and Laura, we were hoping to go out of town, but who's going to take these leads this weekend? Well, that's when we got to put somebody else here.
I see, because you don't have enough people.
And we want everybody to have a quality of life.
Yeah.
You want to be able to go on vacation.
Do you have a team phone? What happens on the weekend?
Yeah.
Logistically, with the leads that come in.
So the leads that we have, I wonder if I could figure out all the places. But it's Zillow, Boomtown, open house, office leads, past clients and referrals that come, my phone's sitting here going. I know y'all's phone is going too.
Do they disperse naturally to agents?
So each thing has got its own system. Okay. So, like with the Zillow account, what we do is, because I think the team's got 20 something people on it. Well, they're divided into you're on this week, you're on next week.
Okay.
And you're with your 2 friends. So it's divided up like that. So you know which week that you have for the Zillow account.
So if they need to trade for vacation
They
or
trade with
something
each
like
other.
that,
Yes.
they
Got
can.
it.
Yes. So you're not on for the whole month. You're on for that week.
Uh-huh.
Then you get the leads and then you have time to work them. And then here comes the next month.
Okay. Back to the beginning a little bit.
Okay.
You're hiring buyer's agent.
Okay.
They're bringing in listings. The team is starting to grow.
Right.
At what point do you get non-producing staff? Like, can you afford assistants that aren't agents or,
So-
admin?
Okay. So with Kim, she was our admin and she's one that's been with us 16 years. And then she tried to retire.
You're like, not happening.
She retired for 2 years.
Okay.
And she came back, thank God. Oh, but anyway, so when she left, we had the biggest blessing come along. That's Christy Viso. So Christy Viso does all of our marketing. Then Kim came back from retirement. She missed us. We were so excited. So then Kim took her position back. Christy does all the marketing for the team, not for the brokerage side.
Right.
She does all the marketing for the team. And then Kim came to us and was like, this thing has grown so big. I need to help her.
Oh.
So basically we hired Kim an assistant and then that's Laura Bokey.
So you have 3 marketing admin people.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, but not just marketing. They're also putting in the listing. Like they're
Yes.
doing
Admin.
admin.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
TC stuff.
Writing. Oh yeah. Everything.
Okay.
Everything.
All right. Great. Tell me what I hear that Steven is sort of like the business brain, maybe.
Right.
What would you say is your primary function in the team today?
Probably, well, with the training.
Yes.
With script practicing, with training. Stephen is the broker of, I see what he has to do. I don't want to do that.
So he's like
part.
doing compliance and stuff.
He's the shutdown. He's the Papa Bear of the whole thing. Like,
Yeah.
you
He's
have to-
keeping y'all in check, making
Yes.
sure everybody's up to date on everything.
Yes.
All the MLS changes, he's on top of that. And
Yes.
okay.
He's the final say. He's got more of that personality where, hey, if this isn't done, you are fired.
Right,
We're-
right. Yeah. Somebody's got to be.
Somebody's got to be. Yeah.
Does he work with a lot of clients or is
He
is
does.
his primary role broker?
I mean, we laugh because he's doing the training, he's shutting things down, he's opening spots in Alabama, and he's also showing a property and putting up my signs for me or something, just
He's
whatever.
doing it all.
Yes, he's literally doing it all.
Okay, as a husband and wife team back in the beginning, when it was just how did y'all divide up? Like let's say you have a friend. You're both friends with the friend.
Right.
Who works with the person? Like, how did you
Probably
divide
both,
it up
huh?
as a team?
Yeah. Well, really, the way Team Smith got created is because you had to put your goals on the board, on your closings and stuff like that. And so it would say Laura had this many closings, so-and-so had this many closings, Stephen had this many closings. And when we would go, well, we kind of both worked on that. Like,
Yeah.
I hate to say that it was mine. That was really yours. Oh, no, that's your. And then, so the lady said, you know what? Why don't y'all come up with a name for yourself?
Mm.
And so Stephen just said, well, let's just say Team Smith.
Yeah.
That way we weren't
We are
saying,
one.
well, I had 6 closings and you had 5 closings. No, we had 11.
Yeah,
And a
yeah.
little bit of that too is that's how Remax structures. Because Remax tells you who your transactions are by if you're a team or an individual.
Right. And then now with all these closings, they would go under our broker.
Okay.
But at the office.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh.
This is fascinating. Is this blowing y'all's
So
mind?
fascinating.
Yeah, it doesn't sound to me like it would be a time saver. Like, to me, it sounds like a lot to...
Well, she had business that she didn't want to lose, so
Yeah.
she gave it to another agent to do.
Right.
If you were at the point, which I'm sure at some point you have been and you just work harder, but if you were at a point where you're like, well, I need more time. I don't want to work this weekend, but I have all these,
Yeah.
past clients coming in that need to see me. Well, if I'm not going to work them, I have to give them to someone else.
Yeah. And as the podcast has grown, we've talked about how I'll refer out certain things.
Same thing.
Because I'm like, I'm
It's the
not
same
going to
thing.
go
Right.
all the way over there. it's not my area. I'll refer
Right.
it, take a referral.
Exactly. And that's ultimately what the team is.
Yeah. Just built in for you. They're
Right.
always there.
They're
Right.
always there.
And then it's a control thing too. So
Yes.
everything's done the exact same way. My 3 ladies are handling it. It's just smooth.
So when you want to write an offer, say your 5 p.m. showing wants
Yeah.
to write an offer,
Kim.
you'll call Kim and be like, Kim, can you?
Refrigerator stays, 5,000 in closing.
And she writes it because you
Yes.
don't open the computer.
No.
You don't move around with a laptop. You just have your phone.
Right. Or Kim.
Or you just, what hours does Kim work? I need
Let's
to
talk
know more
about Kim.
So
Bless her.
So Kim works Monday through Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
But,
And I really don't work on the weekends anymore either.
okay.
No. And
Do you
Steven
think it's
doesn't either.
easier to do that since COVID?
Well,
I don't know if it's because I've been in the business long like you.
right.
Or if it really was the shift in when people would do showings. But I feel like I have worked way less weekends since that.
Maybe so.
Yeah, it was like during COVID, we were showing houses on noon on Tuesday. How glorious,
And I am good at time blocking.
Okay.
So if I have a
She
buyer, yeah, I am. So I'll say, well, the opening that I have this week is Tuesday at 5.
Okay, but back to Kim. You're going to go to a showing at 5. At 6 o'clock, if you decide that an offer needs to be written, you will call Kim.
Yes.
Because today is Tuesday.
And she can write an offer in 30 seconds. I mean,
she's so fast.
fast.
She's like,
and she already knows everything's preset.
What if she's at dinner?
I would just wait for her to get back from dinner.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's totally fine. I love this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she knows ahead of time, hey, I'm
but
probably going
she only works Monday through Thursday.
And then we have Laura Bokey, who's her assistant.
That will work what? Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
She works Monday through Friday. Now, the way I feel is if there's something on the weekend that has to be done, I'll put some more cash. Like, they had to help
I'll pay
me
you
for an extra
extra.
30 minutes. Yes.
Oh, you'll just pay them more.
Yeah, Laura, please go to dinner with Chris on me. I'm so sorry I had to bother you Friday night
Got
at
it.
8 o'clock. I mean, a very good time.
But because you aren't working on the weekend, you don't typically
Right.
need them.
Right. And Steven either. And then we don't work Saturdays. We really don't work Sundays. I mean,
What about handling agent calls? Connie's my broker. And so
Steven?
I've been to, yes,
Those
Connie's
go to
my
Steven.
Steven, yes.
Mhm.
Okay, so the calls go to Steven
Now,
when they need help with something.
But like I said, we've promoted from within. So Mary Beth is paid a little bit extra as well. She's the director of agent development. So they got to go to Mary Beth first.
Okay,
Before it gets
Right.
to them.
that's
There's
awesome.
a chain.
I love that.
Right.
And they've trained them well, it sounds like.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Like
So
you
don't
had
get
her
as many
from
questions.
a baby realtor and
Yes.
you have brought her up to be what you want her to be.
And she's better than me.
She's so good.
amazing.
She's so good.
amazing. And then we meet every Tuesday like clockwork, the whole team. So for
In
2
the morning
hours, 10 to
and-
12.
Is that
Okay.
required?
Yes.
To be on the team.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
What is Steven's tolerance on missing a meeting? Like, what's the rule? What if you miss
I mean,
one
you
or
wouldn't
miss
miss.
2 or
You wouldn't miss.
Why would you miss?
I don't
right?
know.
What if because agents are like, oh, I had a closing.
We have an 18-year-old. We have 3 little
Yep.
ones. We have 4 businesses, really. And we're
Why
there.
would you miss?
Yeah.
Isn't it
2
amazing?
hours.
People ask me that all the time. Like, how do you show up for podcast day on Tuesdays and Thursdays?
It's in our calendar. And everybody on our team is amazing and responsible and kind. And
you
then
ever
they
had
have
to,
a part in the meeting. So you lead the prayer, you're in charge of the devotional, you're in charge of going talking about the new listings. You've got it. So they all have a part. We don't. So Stephen and I just kind of sit there.
You just show
Yeah,
up. Right.
yeah.
Now.
Right.
To hear the recap of how the team is doing,
Yes.
which I think is an excellent mark of leadership.
Or you're in charge of the shout outs. Name 3 people that were kind to you. So you've got to,
Who helped you this week?
why would you don't not be there and not be able to give the shout outs for the 3 people?
You got to be there.
You got to be there.
So people want to be there.
Oh,
This is all about culture.
Yeah.
This
It's
is
so
very much
fun.
about culture.
So we start off with a devotional. Well, we do a prayer. We do a devotional. It's like going to church the first 30 minutes. Then we go over all the listings and then we do some training. And then if Steven has make sure that,
business stuff.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Or Kim and we call her Bokey, but Laura Bokey will say, just for a little housekeeping, y'all are not when y'all send us emails, you're not putting the address.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to give a shout out to Caroline. She always puts the address.
Mhm.
Great job, Caroline.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What if you hire, what if it's not a good hire? What if because you are very welcoming and it seems like if somebody wants to be on the team, is there a vetting process?
There's so many people who want to be on the team, and it's just
How do you manage it?
no.
Oh, what is that process?
You interview.
No.
No.
Everybody else interviews them.
Oh,
The team interviews.
Team interviews them, and they have 5 interviews to be on the team.
who do they interview with?
So
I love this.
Fascinating. You're like, no, I'm not there.
No.
No.
5 people are interviewing.
So I am very intuitive. That's my superpower,
Okay.
so I can kind of go, uh-oh, I don't know if you're a good person. Like or just in general, like you need to be a really good person, first of all. Just a hard worker and a good person and honest and kind.
Okay.
So if I can get you past that, then you're going to interview with Backshop. So
you talk to them first.
most of the time people call me, hey, Laura, I would like to be on the team.
Got it.
Okay.
Right. And then I'll say, okay, well, I'll set you up an interview. And then they've got 5 interviews.
Tell me who the interviews are.
So it will be Kim,
Okay.
Mhm.
Laura Bokey,
And you called that Backshop.
Backshop,
Okay.
Mhm.
Christy Viso.
Okay.
She's amazing. And everybody's so protective of the team. They're very protective of me and Steven.
Okay.
Mm.
Very protective of me and Steven.
I love that.
Oh.
And so they'll be like, if they make it past, that 1 or 2 interviews.
Okay. Right. Christy is what?
Marketing.
An agent? Marketing.
And
Marketing.
So those are the 3 admin
Yes.
marketing people. They
Okay.
interview.
Separately, not together.
Sometimes it'll be Kim and Christy. Sometimes it'll be Bokey and Christy or what. So that'll probably be like 1 or 2 interviews
Okay.
right there.
Yeah, at one
Do
time.
you basically say, hey, y'all, here's the waiting list of people who want to join the team, and now I feel we're ready to take one on? Or how does that go?
I mean, probably 1 out of 10 people that want to be on the team, I'll even start putting them through the 5.
Okay.
interviews.
Wow, I love to hear that.
Okay.
I mean, a few weeks ago, I had 9 people in 1 week that want to join our team.
How many got interviewed? None.
I don't think any of
Do you
None.
find that you're seeing that more in a down market where that people are looking for more support and maybe not wanting to be solo anymore?
I think that this business is really hard.
It is.
Yeah.
And I think people get into it thinking they're going to see pretty houses and make their schedule, and they really love interior design.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I'll say, you know what? There are not that many pretty houses.
Yeah.
Such a good point.
Yeah.
You're like, it's fun when you see one.
Like 1 in 10 are really pretty.
Yeah. I mean, and so it's a lot of problem solving and working with
Right.
people and a lot of paperwork.
Yes.
And so once I tell people that, and I have a lot of people that want to get in the business. And I have a lot of people that want to, switch from being individual and being
Do
on a
you
team.
ever take someone onto the team that is brand new to real estate?
Yes.
You do.
Yes.
Do you prefer that?
No.
Pros and
if they
cons.
make it through all the interviews and stuff like that, then we have them start sitting in on the meetings on Tuesday, and we put everybody on 90-day probation period.
I love that so much.
Oh, so genius.
Okay, 5 interviews and then 90 days of probation.
See, because I always got confused because so many teams are like always hiring.
But that's why she preserves the quality of the team.
Yes.
And if somebody want to be on the brokerage side, that's different.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
don't do 5 interviews.
No.
They're
I mean,
just, you just make sure they're good.
Right. They have to do background check, be
Yeah.
a good person, and
Yeah.
but being on the team is a next
Big deal.
level. That's the next
Yes.
level. So it's full time. No one on the team is part time.
They're all full-time.
No part-time people.
Okay, go back to the 5 interviews though. We did Backshop.
Okay.
We did Christy.
Okay. Mary Beth.
Okay.
Yes.
And then
The dad.
The dad. Yeah.
Okay.
And then so I'll go to the team and say, I'd love for 3 of y'all to meet them. And then so
Just agents, 3 team agents.
Yep. And then so if they can get through that, then Stephen and I'll talk with them, and then they go on 90 days, and then they have to email us every day for 90 days.
Oh my God.
I love this. Okay, what do they say? What they did today?
Yeah, what they did today, what they learned, what they have questions on, and nobody cares if it was you were on vacation. You got to email us for 90 days.
Yeah.
Every day.
Even the weekend to you and Steven.
And Mary Beth
Dad.
and Kim.
Oh, 4 people.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So we have a couple people doing that right now.
So you're not,
And to me, if they forget one day,
yeah.
then I'm concerned about giving them a lead, because you only have 1 email to send today. Pretty
Yes.
soon you're going to have 30 emails to send today.
Right.
So we can't give you a $900 lead
Yeah.
unless you got to prove you're very trustworthy for those 90 days.
Yes.
Yes.
very responsive. Well, and that's the nature of internet leads as well.
Right.
If you miss, they are gone.
They're gone. And you
And
only
you
have a
pay
couple
for it.
minutes. Yes.
Yes.
And some of those Zillow leads or Boomtown leads or whatever, they're $900, $1,200 a
Yeah.
piece.
Yeah. It's a big deal.
Yeah. At the end of every month, you got to email in your leads. Like what happened, like I got, these are my leads, Stephen and Laura, these are the leads I got. This is what happened. This is what I have questions on. And it's not to embarrass or hurt anybody. It's like, oh, you were looking for a 5-bedroom out in Dutchtown. We have one coming up, so it's all about problem solving.
I bet y'all do a lot of matchmaking.
Oh, yes.
Like we end our sales meetings with, new listings coming up, prospective buyers, and just try to figure it out.
So then you end up with a lot of
double sides
in the brokerage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I imagine, because those meetings are so valuable.
You get 25 realtors in a room, you can solve the world's problems.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So you don't have to recruit at all.
I mean, this is where I am with the team. I don't want the team to get any bigger.
Okay.
Our vision is the brokerage side.
Okay.
So here's a great question then. Have you ever had someone go through the interviews for the team and be like, hey, they're not a great fit, or we really don't want to add someone right now, but you would be okay on the brokerage side?
And we've lost people like that. They do not want to be on the brokerage side.
Because they want the
That's
leads.
not why they came.
They want the leads, they want the training, they want the support, they want
Got
the
it.
back shop, they want the systems in place. I mean, you come on the team and we just give you your schedule for the year. You know every meeting, every CE, your open house schedule, even though you don't know which address you're going to be at.
You know when you have to do it.
It is so...
It's almost like being an employee in a way.
It's very systems oriented, and you just are set up for success. As
It's
long
a
as you do
career. It is a full-time job career where you report to a boss and you are held accountable
Yes.
to the team standard. And if you don't want to do that, you may go to another team somewhere else.
But none of them are run like this. Have you ever met anyone else in our market, you don't have to name names, that runs their team the way you do?
No, but I'm proud of this. This is going to come out bad, but I do have people call me all the time saying how people stay at Team Smith so long.
Right.
They're like, why? How?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's a compliment. And I'll say,
It is a
hey,
compliment.
Such a compliment.
Here's 3 things maybe that you could, it's a very positive environment. And then we'll even say like, hey, your sales were great this month. Could we give you some kind of little bonus? Can you help these 3? They're suffering. And then you go to coffee with them and help them.
From inside of your team.
Yes.
Like your team is mentoring each other, which also keeps you available.
Yes.
Because you're not having to do all the mentoring on your own.
No.
It kind of reminds me, I have little kids right now, and I follow all these like Montessori programs.
Yeah.
But it's like they're all the same age.
Students are teaching each other.
The students are teaching each other.
Yes.
The olders take care of the littles.
100%.
And then the littles, it's a well-run machine where everybody has freedom to an extent, but within the guidelines of helping each other and holding everybody accountable.
And then everybody on the team, the fun thing we get to talk about throughout the year is if, your goal might be 40 closings a year, but everybody that hits 20 gets to go on the team trip.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So everybody will really especially if they get to 17, they're like,
I have to do it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody wants to hit at least 20 so they can go on the cruise.
I know, I'm sure I missed it. How many people are on the team right now? Agents. How many agents are on the team?
I think it's 25.
25 agents. And
Is
then
that the biggest you've ever been?
Yes. And we actually went to Country Club Louisiana this morning because today's Tuesday. And in place of our meeting, we did our team photo. And so I'm really excited to see how it's going to look. But Stephen and I kind of turn around and look back
Look at all these sweet angels.
wow.
Biggest photo you've ever taken. We were actually looking at some team photos, just like we Googled it, and how big they can be. And then we thought, how often do they have to update these?
We try to do it once a year.
Yeah.
But you don't have people leaving that often.
Once a year, I think you'd have to do it once a quarter.
I'm so proud that we just don't. I mean, we don't.
But you do realize that's an anomaly.
Yes.
Yes, she realized it.
Because that's what she's saying. We looked at some team pictures of other local teams, being like, they must have to change this picture a lot.
No.
Yeah.
People were added, so we wanted to include them.
Yeah, added is different.
Yeah. But, we always go to church on Sunday. And my daughter, she's 18 now, but I'll never forget this. She said, Mom, you're such a nice mom.
Oh.
But she said, on Sundays, you're a church mom. You're not nice in the morning.
What does that mean?
And she said, because I get aggravated her, like, this is your outfit that you're wearing.
Right. Getting ready for church, getting out the door.
And so one day I learned, you know what? I'm going to lay out 3 choices. Whichever one is fine. And as soon as I started doing that, we started getting along better on Sunday mornings. So now that's what we've done with our team.
I see.
So if anybody has a complaint or aggravation, we'll say, look, here's your 3 choices.
Yeah.
We just want you in our life. We want you at our brokerage. Which one is best for you?
Yeah.
Sure.
And once we did that, it really, everybody feels powerful. Whatever they choose is okay with us.
Oh. Because before that, it was one.
It was just 50-50.
Just 50-50.
Right.
Some people were like, that doesn't feel like right.
Some people are just rock stars on our team. And
Yeah.
they're like, I've brought in all my own business, you know.
Right,
I just literally had 10 closings this month.
Yeah.
Stephen and Laura, you know. And so it's like, that's when Stephen said, you know what, let's create this.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
How long ago was that? Before you went to make your own brokerage?
No, we started getting creative years ago where we came up with, you know, well, hey, you still want to be on the team, but the 70-30, you know. But now it's 50-50, 70-30, or pay in $13,000, go 100%.
Got it. Okay.
And everybody can choose. I'm telling you, yeah, it was powerful. That's a Stephen thing. I can't take credit for that.
It's such a great structure, truly.
It really is.
Yeah.
That you are the broker and the team leader, and you can have all these options to accommodate the different needs.
Yep.
Okay. What's your favorite thing about running the team / brokerage?
If somebody is super successful, when they have a huge month, you know, and I can look at them and go, we were a small part of that.
Yeah.
That's so good.
And like your training, who made the boot camp?
That's Stephen.
Okay.
And so I'm good with scripts. So maybe if you came to me and said, hey, here's an issue, I can say, well, have you ever thought about saying it like this? A little nicer, or maybe let's work together. And so that's my strength. And then his strength is he really has broken down Zillow and learned it so well.
Yeah.
And created.
He's an analytical guy.
Yes. And so he will take 3 days. Okay, y'all are my bottom 9 people. Actually, we're about to do this next month. Y'all are my bottom 9.
In lead conversion.
Out of the 25.
Yeah.
Bottom 9.
And we feel like this is our fault. This isn't your fault.
That's a great way to think of it.
That you're in the bottom 9. This is our fault.
How do we help you?
Yeah. How do we help you? What can we do?
What are y'all going to do with the bottom 9?
So the bottom 9, they're going to be coming in for 3 days, and we're going to have training, and we're going to talk it out. We want you to list all the people you're working with. You know what? Stephen and I have failed you. We don't want to fail you. Let's go. What can we do?
Because you look at conversion rates per agent, because you know how many leads they got.
You know who was assigned and
or you know what? You've literally done 15 open houses and you haven't had a closing from it. What are you saying?
Yeah.
It's not to embarrass you.
How's it going?
How can we help you? You know,
How can we train you?
Do you ever secret shop your open houses?
Well, we've thought about doing it. We haven't done it yet, but
like
you know,
sending in.
You seem that regimented, like that you would send someone in and be like, "Listen, this just go in."
And again, it's not to hurt somebody's feelings. It's to help them.
Yeah.
Well, like when I worked in the restaurant.
Yes.
And I would get secret shopped. And at the end, if you got an A+, you got a little bonus. And it was like, you asked them if they wanted an appetizer.
Ooh.
You offered them an upcharge to their drink. You offered dessert. You were timely. You gave refills. Like, you checked all the boxes. You get a bonus.
She's gonna start secret shopping.
Just a thought. Yeah.
I'm going to do the bonus thing. I like the A+.
I like, you are clearly we like to reward good behavior, not punish bad behavior.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Like I just had Kim make a chart. Please make a list of everybody on the team. Please review their Zillow profile. Do they have a Google My Business page? Is there anything incorrect? Da, 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 da. And then she made a chart. And then here's 25. Look, the top 12, y'all did the whole check. What are you doing?
You're like, we can see what the problem is.
You know, what are y'all doing?
Yeah.
You know? Like this career can change your life. But you got to do the work. You need to go update your Google My Business page. It doesn't even say that you work in the Dutchtown School District, or it doesn't even say that, you know, Zachary is one of your things that you do.
Yeah. Okay.
This has been, can you believe our time is like pretty much up?
We're done. She's got to go show a house.
Okay.
She can't
Two more questions.
Okay.
Quick questions.
Okay.
Where do you see your business in the future?
I see the brokerage side growing. I see our Alabama side growing. I see, because Wesley's going to go to Lafayette, so I see growing something there.
Yes.
I see eventually our team getting smaller.
Okay.
Oh.
More.
What do you think is the right, your
Your
target
sweet spot.
size?
Yeah, what's your sweet
target
spot?
size?
On the brokerage side, we want to grow to 100.
Okay, so you want to try and ship them off.
Yes.
You're like, fly, little chickens.
Okay,
Fly.
that makes sense.
Yes.
Do you think there will ever be a point where it's sort of a required step where you're on the team and then you go brokerage?
No.
You're okay with taking them just on the brokerage?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the team is so structured now. It's not stressful. It's not stressful on me and Steven.
It's
because
easy for you to
everybody's,
run.
It's a well-run machine.
they're running it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Self-run.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
This was so
great.
good. Okay, we end every single episode
Correct.
with a toast.
I feel like I know who it's for.
So if you have somebody, and it may surprise us, I don't know. If you have somebody that you would have to give a cheers to, or a pat on the back, or someone that you just wanted to like lift up today, who would that be today?
Someone that maybe had something to do with your success. That's so important. You do know? Okay, I feel like she knows.
Yeah, you should have told me that.
My bad.
See? Well, okay.
I was in charge of that.
Yeah. No, I mean, of course, it'll be Steven.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's our 25th anniversary coming up in a few months. So, yeah.
25 years married.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
So, and I love him. He's just a very good man. He's always trying to take care of everybody, our family, the team, the brokerage, Alabama. He's just, so anyway.
And he does all the stuff you don't want to do.
Yes, he does.
That's a good team.
Yeah.
I love it.
Cheers to Steven.
This was so great.
Okay.
So great. Thank
you,
Okay.
Laura.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Hustle Humbly podcast.
If you enjoyed this episode, please go to ratethispodcast.com/hustlehumbly and leave us a review or drop a comment if you're listening on Spotify.
If you have an episode topic or someone you'd like to toast on the show, please email us at team@hustlehumblypodcast.com.
Find us on social media at Hustle Humbly Podcast. Don't forget to find all of the free resources at hustlehumblypodcast.com/resources.
See you next week.
This is the good life.